Day 79 of documenting my journey for creating my space learning platform. So today I worked on learning computer graphics for my app because it's a really important part of it. I also organized my code into an object-oriented programming structure. I fixed some bugs and I tried to implement the UI and the skybox. Then I also create my priorities. I reprioritized what I was gonna do and what I'm going to work on from now on in Spacewise. So I had a call with a friend of mine, and I talked with him for 5 hours, and I managed to he coached me really well, and I created a new set of priorities. So right now I'm going to show you what I've done today, kind of explain it, and yeah, let's go. Okay, let's talk about how I studied. So I did not go into detail into the computer graphics. I tried to get a big picture understanding and try to see how the concepts relate to each other. Try to create a network of knowledge that is not very deep in detail, it's more broad. That is really important to be able to learn the details better later, much faster, and so they can be integrated into this structure that you see over here. All of this structure. It's going to be much easier because if I have a structure, a logic that I understand and I can remember easily, then I'm going to be able to remember these groups as well. And these groups have some other keywords. And I mean, this is related to this, and maybe this is related to this, And if this is really well structured in my mind, then it's gonna be much easier to understand the whole topic and the details. Now, what did I do? What was the process that I followed? So I basically asked AI for keywords for this topic, and then after that I tried to make some basic groups. As you see over here, we have coordinate spaces, we got some matrices over here. These are basic groups based on similarities, like why how are keywords similar. And then after I made basic groups, I tried to ask myself, how can I label them? And why are these keywords important, How can I make this label the simplest I can without using technical words? That made me try to simplify, which is very important, so that to get a better understanding. It also allowed me to evaluate, if I ask why is it important, it makes me evaluate multiple concepts, and it makes it much more robust in my memory. And yeah, after I got these main groups, I tried to map them out. I tried to create a logical structure. So as you see over here, we have the math group, the APIs group, the shader programming languages, which is GLSL and HLSL. We got the graphics APIs, which are DirectX 10 and 11. I mean, at least the ones that I had in my keyword list. Then we got Metal API for iOS, and we got some more like OpenGL and Vulkan. Then for the math, we got many different math topics like geometry, differential geometry, linear algebra, trigonometry, all of that stuff. And this is important towards visual realism and the rendering pipeline. The rendering pipeline is basically a series of processes or steps that allow to convert a 3D model into a 2D screen. And this is there are many processes here. As you see, this part was not very well done because when I tried to put the groups and when I tried to put the keywords, I didn't think about the relationships. I only just put them there. And if I just put things on the map without thinking about it first, it's literally doesn't make any sense. Of course I can do a mind map, and if I do like this and put some arrows and put some words, and connect them, of course that is a mind map, but that's not actually efficient for learning. The most important part is what actually happens in the head. And I'm trying to learn high order knowledge here, which is trying to think of many concepts, trying to see why many concepts are important. How do they relate to each other? How does this concept affect this other concept? You know, stuff like this. Now, in visual realism, we have light reflection techniques. For example, the Phong lighting model. We have the ray tracing. We have blending. And we have some shaders here. Now, what I want to say is that this is probably not perfect. This is probably not perfectly correct, but it's part of the process to learn more about this, learn more about the big picture, and iterate, improve. Now, the coordinate transformation is when the coordinates of an object are transformated or like are changed at different stages of the rendering pipeline. And each stage, each little coordinate space has a different purpose. Now, I don't exactly know what purpose exactly does each space have, because that's more of a detail. I haven't studied the details. I kind of know how this makes sense. And I managed to do that by grouping these keywords, understanding these keywords, labeling them, and all of that stuff. Now I have a big picture understanding and I'm more able to introduce details. That's basically it. Now, as you see, there's another thing here that I did in another day, more things here, and more things here. What I did today was this. Now, after this, like, I'm not doing the perfect technique of pre-study. So what I did was just reflect. So then I reflected on the technique. This is a Kolb's cycle. It's basically a reflection, but very specific reflection that allows me to find solutions and root problems much faster and improve much rapidly. So the first thing that I do is specify what I want to reflect about, what I want to reflect on. Then I'm gonna identify what does progress look like. In this case, it would be to become more consistent and expose myself to many more different angles and make more mistakes to learn more. Then I actually here do the reflection. Here's where I mine for value. Here's where I try to understand what is the root cause of how I felt and how I acted in this experience. So as you see over here, I'm gonna list and sequence what happened in chronological order. After I do that and I put some detail, I describe it in steps. I put basically the big picture steps first, and then I add some detail if I feel like I need to, like if I feel like I want to. Then here I'm going to describe my thoughts and exactly when did I do the thoughts. Now, as you see, I did not finish the reflection, but it's something that I will do on the next day. Either way, here I'm gonna say how I'm feeling. Here I'm gonna speak about what went well and what was hard or difficult. Then I'm gonna try to answer how did I respond to difficulties and challenges. Did I avoid them, or did I push through and manage to like continue and continue on the discomfort zone, on the fear zone, the growth zone. And what were the triggers, what like caused me to act or feel the way that I did, and why, now that I know what caused it, like why do I think that this trigger caused me to act or feel the way that I did. Then I'm gonna create kind of like a summary. This is not it, this is another reflection, but I'm gonna create kind of like a summary of what happened here. I'm gonna observe, I'm gonna identify habits, beliefs, or tendencies that I found here on the reflection. I'm not gonna try to make predictions, I'm just gonna try to observe what I found and put it here. What do I tend to do? What are the patterns that I see? And then I'm gonna do an experiment, which is basically the solutions and the possible actions that I want to experiment on to make progress on my goal to fix this problem. That's basically what I do usually on a daily basis, and that's what I'm gonna finish on the next day. Let me show you the code. Okay, so my current code is basically the following. Right now, I'm trying to implement the UI into the application, and what I have is a skybox, which is basically an environment, you could say, an image that makes it more realistic, that represents an environment, like maybe sky or the space, which is in my case the space, yeah. Packaging my project and my code with CMake, I'm like doing that, and then I have here some functions that I have organized in an object-oriented programming manner. Here we have the shaders from the stars and the skybox, and here we have the core, like the core. We have the context, which is basically the window and initializing the main libraries, which are SDL2, Glue, OpenGL. And here I'm checking if there's any errors or anything. After creating the context, I also have the resource manager, which is basically managing images, videos, any resources that I want, textures, all that stuff. After that, I have a helper function, which is important towards retrieving the resources and helping the resource manager with the files and loading of the files with a path, you know. Then I also have rendering. Here we have the shader manager, where like I read the shader, I compile the shader, I check if there's any errors, and then I load them. So it basically manages everything about the shaders. Here I render the skybox. Here are the positions over the vertices. And the process, I mean, and there's many more things, but the process that I do to create this code, I actually don't create it myself. I ask AI to do it, and then after I ask AI, I put out a notes document, and I put all of my questions, all of my doubts, all of the things that I don't really have, I'm not really clear about. I don't know why this happens. So I'm gonna put my questions, and then I'm gonna try to answer them myself. Now, if I don't know the questions, like how am I gonna answer them? I'm gonna make a hypothesis. I'm just gonna make a mistake. Like I'm gonna try to think about it first and try to put the question into words and write it down. The answer, I mean, to the questions. And after I do that, I kind of try to think about it. And when I ask AI to give me the answers, I can absorb the information in a much better way, and I can learn much more effectively. Then I can also ask AI if my logic is incorrect, or if, like, what exactly am I missing here? Where is the gap in my knowledge? That's basically what I want to do. And then, yeah, that's basically what I did. I went into a bit more detail over the next clips, about the code. But yeah, you will see that. And I mean, that's basically it. So let's get started with the clips, the videos that I have recorded along today's day. And let's get started with the time lapse. Today I wake up a bit later because I wanted to sleep. Well, this is actually not what happened. I went to sleep at 11, something like this. So yeah, I slept a little bit more. Woke up at 5:30, and I just planned. I created some marginal gains, some 1% tasks that are gonna lead me in the right direction towards making progress towards my goals. And so I planned all of this, in 45 minutes. It was not only that, let me see if you can see this. Yeah, you can. It was also this. So I put why is it important, like this task, and I also created some, like, put what would be progress, over here if I do the task, and then the time it will take, and I broke it down as well, most of the tasks, because right now I just want to focus on executing. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, that I wanna do, I'm probably not gonna be able to do all of this just as I planned because I'm not very good at this skill yet. But I've realized that I wanna do progress on this skill. Now I am very, very, very aware that I have many things that I wanna make progress on. So as you see here, the social situations. There's pre-study, meaning learning how to learn. There's calls, meaning reflections. So there's already three different things here that I'm wanting to work on. And four, planning. Planning is also a skill, time management and prioritization. So here we have already four skills, right, out of just nowhere. Then we have five skills. So I'm already working on five things today. Now, I don't know if that's actually, it probably is not very good, but I want to try it out because I'm now aware that I'm doing this, and I'm aware and I can reflect over it. I used to do this, or even worse, like doing more things. I used to do it earlier, but I wasn't aware. So let me just try this and see what happens. That's what I want to do, because I believe that planning is not some evil thing. I believe it's actually useful and important if I do it correctly. If I don't just stay for an hour or 2 hours just planning and without actually, like, obsessing over perfect and obsessing over creating the perfect process, all of that stuff. I don't know. That's not probably not very good, and that's what held me back for months until now. That's what I think right now. So yeah, I'm gonna reflect on a social situation I had yesterday, and um, I don't know, like, I'm a bit tired of people not taking me seriously. I'm a bit tired of not being able to connect with people. I'm a bit tired of just doing strange things like yelling, like yesterday I yelled so loud uh when I was like when on the gym, when my mate was leaving the gym because he already finished the workout. I wanted to make a joke. Oh, already? You're leaving already? And I yelled like like loud. I didn't mean to yell. I just wanted to speak a bit loud, but I yelled so loud. And for some reason, it impacted me a lot. So I'm gonna reflect over that, and I'm gonna see what can I improve on in my social skills as well. Then I'm gonna do a pre-study, which means a mind map to understand computer graphics, and then I'm gonna reflect over how I did that mind map to improve my technique. Then I'm gonna buy eggs. I'm gonna go to the market. I'm gonna build Spaceways here. This is just building with AI and learning. The main goal of this, the main importance of this, is to build, but also at the same time reflect on my process. While I was building, what was my process? Uh, like for using AI. Did I use AI in an optimal way? Meaning that, did I use AI in a way that helps me achieve my goals, my learning and building goals? Like, my objectives when I'm building Spaceways with AI is to learn about the concept and then also actually build and get features implemented, right? So those are my two main objectives, and I want to reflect over the process that I'm following for to do to try to achieve those objectives and improve it. I don't want to just reflect over it and create 30 experiments at the same time and work on the 30 things at the same time. I want to create one marginal improvement. And when I have that marginal improvement, then I can take it a bit slower. I can take it with more patience. That's my objective right now. I used to just try to create as many improvements as possible, implement it as fast as possible, and just do that. But it's basically just futile. Like, if I do that, I'm not gonna be making progress in anything. Now, I am aware that these are two things at the same time, building and focusing on the process. So that's a thing that I need to be very aware of, and I need to see like if that's actually something good. But I'm gonna reflect over it here. I'm gonna reflect over it here as well, and I will keep it in my mind that, like, am I making actually progress with this when I'm focusing on improving a bit of my process and actually building as well? Should I just focus on building here and not even think about what I'm doing, and not even think about the process? And only then, when I'm reflecting, I will think more critically about it. I don't know. I'm probably just going to follow the process that I'm doing right now, which is just to ask AI for the code. Then I break down the code. I set some questions that I have, some doubts, and like, I literally write them down on a notepad, over here. I have an example here, I think. Yeah. I basically write the questions down that I have, and I try to answer them myself first. I try to give my prediction, my hypothesis, and then I will just put this into AI and see if my logic was correct. If it wasn't, like, what did I think wrong about this? What are the gaps in my knowledge? That is my current process. And I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try that. So I've been speaking for a long time, 7 minutes, but these are some thoughts that I had, and yeah, 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 yeah. This is already something that I need to push. Already something that I need to push. We'll see. Okay, let's go. So, I literally spent, like, yeah, almost 3 hours working on this pre-study, on this mind map, and I have improved so much. I have learned so many things. It's crazy. Not only about, like, computer graphics. I kind of, like, know the big picture understanding, not fully, because I haven't finished this, but I am understanding much better, like, what's all of this about? What's the computer graphics all about? And what else? What else can I say? Yeah, I've learned a lot about the technique of pre-study, of how should I do this, and nah, it's really good. After this, let me see. Can you see this? Oh wait, you cannot. Now you can. So I did this for almost 3 hours. I'm gonna buy eggs, and then I'm gonna continue. The next thing that I'm gonna do is, I mean, I kind of have the main groups done. Now I'm gonna add more keywords, and as you see, inside each group there are subgroups, and inside each subgroup there could be even more subgroups. Of, for For example, if there's a group over here, it cannot have more than 4 keywords. So I need to group this even further. And this is crazy because I think if I do this correctly and if I give myself enough time, I'm gonna be able to get such a good understanding of this topic. It actually feels like it, you know? But yeah, like wow. Finally making progress. Like I'm telling you, if I just put my focus to just less things, if I concentrate my focus on one thing, bro, I can improve so much. It's incredible. Finally, I'm making progress on this. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go and buy the eggs. So I'll see you in a second. Oh my god. Really nice. What I this session. This session. Oops, a lot of progress. Let's go. Back from the market. So here we got the eggs. Basically, got 9 dozens. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was 31 euros. And yeah, got them from the market. Really fresh. And right now, I'm gonna keep working. So let's get it. Let's continue. Okay, so I was doing the reflection, but I'm literally falling asleep. So right now I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna do some breathing. I'm gonna put relaxing music. I'm gonna try to recover a little bit and for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go back to this. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so I have just finished a little bit of coding. Now the skybox is working. I have put all of the code, like organized it in object-oriented programming. It's all over here. As you see on the source, we got the core, we got the helper class. In this case, we got the rendering classes, and I'm doing right now the UI. I'm trying to do the menu, and I'm trying to make like get this to work because I've been having problems with ingui. I'm GUI. I'm GUI. I don't know how you say it, but I've been having problems with that and installing it with VCPKG, this thing with this packet manager. I've been having problems with that, so I'll probably just, I mean, I just have to link this library, this header file, and the CMake, and that's basically it. But I just need to do that, and it will probably work. And after that, well, that's basically it, I think. I will have a UI and some tabs that I can work with. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this real quick, and then I'm gonna join a call. But no, actually, no, I'm gonna join the call right now. I'll finish this a bit, like just right after it. So yeah, let's go. I'll see you in a second. I'll tell you how it went. Let's go. Here is the meal. So it's basically just chicken breast with onions, tomatoes, butter, and avocado. Oh, right there. Oh my god, what's going on? And this is basically it. I also ate some peanuts and onions while I cooked all of this, and I also cooked the eggs. So here they are. Everything cleaned up, and let's eat this. And after this, after this, yeah, I think I'm gonna do the reflection. So let's go. Oh, okay. So right now it's 12 a.m. I mean, 12 at night. Yeah, 12 at night. I had a 5 hour call with a friend of mine, and yeah, it was insane. Like, I got so much more clarity. I mean, I have explained this already actually, but he coached me really well, and he helped me prioritize what is actually more important right now for me to do. And that's incredible. So, yeah, right now I'm gonna meditate for 10 minutes, at least a little bit. I'm gonna gratitude journal, and I'm gonna edit the video and go to sleep. So today is not gonna be a very huge night of sleep, but it is what it is. It was definitely worth it. So let's go.